Good afternoon, students and friends of the university. We are about to begin the program, so please feel free to take a seat and make yourselves comfortable.
Welcome, everyone. We'll start the program, so if you haven't found your seat yet, please. We're anxious to have an opportunity to dedicate this magnificent new piece of art on our campus. I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm Dave Ostrander. I'm Vice President for Advancement at St. Leo. And it's just a real pleasure to have each of you join us for this special event on Martin Luther King Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Let me set the stage just a bit for this sculpture. Vision 2013 was approved by our Board of Trustees in October 2008. It was a narrative that describes for readers the anticipated growth of St. Leo University between 2009 and 2013. It was created to document our aspirations, inform our planning, and communicate the university's goals. It was intended to be a best-case scenario when everything we dare to dream is accomplished. Here's one very brief quote from that document in October of 2008. Tampa artist Stephen Dickey's bronze depiction of one of St. Leo's earliest African-American students became another feature attraction on our campus. And now today, that's a reality. Many, many things have happened that appeared in Vision 2013. They've already been accomplished at our university. It's truly fitting that on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we dedicate this statue that puts in place one more piece of that vision for our university. And with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Kirk to talk about the meaning of this sculpture for St. Leo.
Thank you, Dave. Good afternoon, and thank you, all of you, for coming out today. Students, faculty, staff, community members, and especially members of our Board of Trustees who are joining us. Will the members of the trustees please stand so we can... It is my privilege to welcome all of you to St. Leo University for the dedication of our new bronze sculpture, A Spirit of Belonging, which now graces our campus and memorializes another important aspect of our history, our mission, our tradition, and our values. As we celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a great and courageous man who led the struggle for racial equality and justice in the United States with an abiding faith in God, love, and equanimity, it is fitting that we dedicate a work of art commemorating a courageous and righteous act of the Benedictines who founded our institution. In 1898, Rudolph Antorcha, the college's first black student, enrolled at St. Leo. At that time, Florida's Jim Crow laws forbade teaching black and white children in the same classroom. Our Benedictine monks made a courageous yet just choice to carry out their mission to provide educational opportunities to all deserving students. Bound by the 1,500-year-old Benedictine tradition and values of respect for all persons, hospitality, community, justice, and integrity, they reached out to students like Rudolph to minister, to educate, and to protect them regardless of race. In 2013, St. Leo University remains true to our Benedictine traditions, welcoming students of all faiths, or no faith at all, as long as they are of good character, wish to learn, and share our values. When we speak of our mission, we speak from a deep faith and commitment that preceded the laws and attitudes of this state by decades. Like those founding monks, we are compelled by our values to carry out our mission to respect and serve our entire human community, regardless of ethnicity, race, religion, or nation of origin. On the very day that America's first black president has been sworn in for a second term, it may be difficult for many young people to grasp the significance of St. Leo's 114-year history of integration. For that reason, this sculpture is positioned between our two new student apartments, where it is an appropriate and important reminder of our student-centered mission to provide educational opportunities for all, to respect the dignity and value of all people, and to welcome them to be part of our community. Though we have no photograph of Rudolph, a spirit of belonging memorializes the valiant act of the monks in 1898 and the mission of opportunity to which St. Leo University remains firmly committed in 2013. When we dedicated For Those Who Serve in 2010, artist Dexter Benedict purposely made generic the features of servicemen and women in order to reflect the diversity of our armed forces and our university community. The figures are, according to Dexter, quote, every man and every woman. A spirit of belonging is a departure from that, and with good reason. It celebrates St. Leo's history of integration and symbolizes that all, always were, always are, and always will be welcome here. The magazine Diverse Issues in Higher Education consistently ranks St. Leo among the top 100 degree providers to minority students. In fact, in 2012, we ranked 26th as the leading provider of baccalaureate degrees to African Americans in this nation and 54th in master's degrees. Many of those students are not educated here at university campus. Rather, they attend one of our 19 regional centers or through our Center for Online Learning. And though this sculpture is situated here, it is a symbol for our entire university community. For years, I have shared the story of Rudolph Antorcha. Now, for the first time, we have an impressive visual representation of the Benedictines' historic and courageous gesture welcoming him to St. Leo, and of St. Leo leading the way towards racial harmony in this nation. This sculpture stands to affirm our continued commitment to the mission of educational opportunity for all deserving students of good character, as well as to honor the monks of St. Leo Abbey. At this time, I would like to recognize the brothers of the order who are here today. Will you please stand? Thanks to all of you for coming. I particularly appreciate Father Damien and Father James. They got here not long after Rudolph, I think, but they've been around a long time and have been wonderful, wonderful supporters of the university. And I would also like to recognize the Benedictine sisters who have been partners in this enterprise from the very beginning. Sisters, would you please stand? Thanks to all of you for coming in the spirit of those monks and nuns who came before you. We are blessed to have you here with us. I would like to also recognize the talented artist who designed and cast this magnificent bronze sculpture, Stephen Dickey. We will hear from Stephen in just a few minutes, but I would like to acknowledge him now. Stephen, please stand. Congratulations on a beautifully executed work of art. The spirit of belonging is splendid, and we're going to cherish it. Thanks to each and every one of you again for coming together to mark this historic occasion as a community of learners, teachers, and friends. I hope this sculpture inspires you to continue to live your lives with great integrity and embrace the spirit of this community which so eagerly embraces all of you. God bless you all, and thank you again, Stephen.
Stephen Dickey has become Tampa's unofficial sculptor laureate, having preserved in bronze more than a dozen of the area's most illustrious citizens. His sculptures appear in Brandon, Safety Harbor, Tarpon Springs, Clearwater, St. Petersburg, as well as in Tampa. His work can also be seen in Sarasota, Fort Lauderdale, Tallahassee, Winter Haven, and Gainesville. He did the Ranger Memorial at Fort Benning, Georgia, and a dolphin fountain on Staten Island in New York. We wanted to ask Stephen to come and share a few of his thoughts on the process of determining how to represent this momentous occasion in the history of St. Leo. So, Stephen, would you please come forward?
First, I'd like to thank David and Dr. Kirk and Susan Choulet, who gave me the opportunity to take on this project. It's a wonderful project to have, and it was quite a piece of history. I've been asked to give my thoughts about how I, as an artist, can come up with, the imagery that we see in the end. It helps to know your subject, especially if you're doing figure work. Well, Rudolph and I are far removed. So I had to think back as to what it was he was going through, what the situation was that he was in, and the type of person that could do that could take on that goal and succeed. So first, I felt that he had to be intelligent, or he wouldn't be here. And I think most of you will agree with that. I'm not going to get much argument on that. There certainly would have been a sense of trepidation. For what we take for granted today in our education system did not exist back then. Even the laws worked against him. But I think through that, through a sense of pride, courage, and resolve, he would have been a person that could stand up for what he believed was right and for what was deserved. So those are the thoughts going through my head as I'm doing the imagery. I don't have a lot of photographs. I didn't have photographs to work off of. So what I was trying to do was get the spirit. And I hope in thinking that as I'm doing the image, that comes through in the piece. And next to him is the monk. Well, the monk obviously represents the whole of St. Leo. He's welcoming, he's embracing, he's protecting, and he's leading the way for what Rudolf Antorcha was able to do. And I think it is a very appropriate time to be dedicating this statue. For it was individuals like Rudolf and others in that time period that were not historically shown, that we do not read about or hear about. But these are the individuals that actually led the way to what Martin Luther King was able to do. And and for the progress that this country has come through currently and today and what we're celebrating. So thank you again.
Next, I'd like to ask Brother Stanislaw to come forward. Abbot Isaac, the abbot of St. Leo Abbey, is not able to be with us, but Brother Stanislaw is representing him as prior of the abbey. Brother?
I'm very grateful, along with my fellow monks, to have this opportunity to represent Abbot Isaac Camacho at today's dedication ceremony. Abbot Isaac does send his regrets that he could not be here today, but Abbey business has taken him away from us. This sculpture commemorates an important moment in our shared history, and more importantly, stands out as a lasting reminder of our Benedictine heritage and the values of community and respect for all people that are the very heart of the Order of Saint Benedict. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Katie Gwynn has gotten to be quite an accomplished public speaker, being president at a number of dedications of new facilities on campus. So to help us dedicate this new one, Katie Gwynn, president of Student Government Union.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Ostrander, for such a wonderful welcome. And thank you to everyone who's taken their time to come out here today. This is a wonderful statue, and it celebrates a momentous occasion at St. Leo University. We're so blessed to be able to have this opportunity to recognize the great strides that St. Leo has taken throughout its history. Over 100 years ago, Benedictine monks traveled to Florida to build their own institution for higher learning. In doing so, they relied on their Benedictine values and beliefs to help them overcome all types of adversity. In all my time at St. Leo, the long 3.5 years that I've been here, I have never doubted that the administration here strive to promote diversity. In the core values that we study in class every day, students learn that it's important to respect all people, no matter their background, skin color, religious beliefs, political views, or career aspirations. From the moment that our students step on campus, they begin to understand that all men are created equal, and that without moral codes, we could not fully develop into the people that we are destined to be. Just this morning in my intercultural communication class, I learned that in every state of our great nation, there is diversity. From the rolling plains of Nebraska to the sandy beaches in Florida, from the ice-capped mountains of Colorado to the busy city streets of New York City, we are a diverse group of people. Over 100 years ago, our Benedictine founders understood this aspect of life. In the time where integration was outlawed, the monks of St. Leo accepted African American students into the hallways and classrooms of this great institution, and their actions set an example for years to come. This statue is a testament to St. Leo's mission to accept all people, respect all people, and encourage diversity. This sculpture, entitled A Spirit of Belonging, will stand as a tribute to the fact that all students, professors, and staff are welcomed here with open arms, no matter their background. It is my hope that this statue stands for another 100 years, although I know that St. Leo University will promote diversity so long as it exists. Thank you.
I think it's a very significant coincidence that Dr. Martin Luther King was a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, we have an Alpha Phi Alpha chapter at St. Leo. And I've asked John Jeffrey Green, representing that institution, to come forward and say a few words as well. John Jeffrey?
Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King was a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, an organization dedicated to develop leaders, promoting brotherhood, and encouraging academic excellence, and promoting advocacy for minority communities. In regards to Dr. Martin Luther King, it is important that we as individuals gather in ourselves the ability to encourage and nurture students and people of this world, just as Dr. Martin Luther King did. At the age of 23, Dr. Martin Luther King entered my beloved fraternity. And it's with these aims of my fraternity that Dr. Martin Luther King became the leader he is known today. I must say that I am happy, rather glad, that Dr. Martin Luther King was my brother, because I will continue his work and relive his legacy. But I alone cannot continue and relive his legacy. It's going to take each and every one of us to do so. In closing, I'd just like to say, on behalf of the brothers, of the Rosei Brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and the other brothers of Alpha Chapter, I want to say, we want to say, thank you. Thank you for honoring and remembering my brother, Dr. Martin Luther King. Thank you.
Now, as has also become customary for us, Father Stefan, would you please come forward and bless this sculpture?
God is great, and all the time. As we gather on this day and remember the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we dedicate this statue as a reminder of the dream of the Benedictines who founded our university. They dreamed of a place where a person like Martin, that of all colors and backgrounds, would come together to learn, where students would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. This bold decision of inclusion stood against a society and a nation that still suffered from the wounds of war and division deeply rooted in race. So in the spirit of inclusion, unity, and respect, let us pray. Almighty and ever-living God, you created all persons in your image and likeness to reflect the great love that you have for us all. Today we ask your blessing upon this statue that reminds us that all persons are to be regarded with respect, that you desire that all people come to the knowledge of truth that can only be found in you. May all who look upon it be drawn to see in the face of their brother and sister the mighty presence of your love. Help us, O God, to always receive all that we encounter here as we would receive Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit, one God forever and ever. Together we say, amen.
As Father Stefan blesses the sculpture, I'd like to ask James Belazier and the Voices of Christ to come forward for a musical number.
march on till victory is won.
Two things left before we finish. We're going to have a ribbon cutting, and I'd like members of the platform party here to proceed over for a photo op of the ribbon cutting. And we also have refreshments in the atria area behind, in the lobby area behind the sculpture. Now, I asked our plant operations folks to please put up these Chinese lantern lights up here without paying too much attention that at 5 o'clock it's not dark. So I'm going to be in big trouble if everybody leaves before it's dark. So after the photo opportunity, please help yourself to the refreshments and linger for a long time, sharing the sense of community that we have this day. Thank you.